Hello everyone and welcome. Just see here. I think I'm in the right spot here. It is 6 o'clock on the dot. I am on time tonight for day 12 of 25 days of lives. I have got for you a little embossing folder technique that I'm going to be doing this evening, and it's going to be a beautiful, quick and easy card. Let's see here. Hello Pat, I'm just popping into everybody's feed now, but over the last two nights I ended up doing working with monochromatic tones. If you happen to join in last night, we did a beautiful purple card with all sorts of different size circles, and I can show you that. The night before, we did some beautiful shading with greens and blues, and tonight we are going to use some orange, shades of orange and coral tonight. I think it's going to be quite beautiful. And when I put out the poll, blue and green was the favorite for sure. Purple was pretty up there, and then the red orange tones, or the orangey red tones, were third on the list. But you know what, they're the ones that I wanted to play with the most, just because they're ones that I may not use as much, but they're beautiful colors in there. So we're going to have a look at those. Okay, I have had a crazy, as you can see over here, and you may have seen in my post, I have been busy doing a lot of prep for my Fun Fold appreciation kits that are going to be going in the mail on Tuesday. I'm going to be mailing out both July and August, and so you can look forward to those. If you happen to place an order in June, then you will get July's Fun Fold. If you placed one in July, today being the last day of July, you will end up with August Fun Fold. And that includes if you happen to join my monthly class that I've got, and you end up buying the bundle for that class, because it's usually over $50. So that also gets you the Fun Fold. Okay. So it's the Fun Fold for July. I really like it, and I will show pictures of it when it's all finished. Yeah, I am going to be searching for a fabulous fold for August, and starting that prep later tonight. So yeah, lots still to do, and then I'll be moving on to starting our prep for September's class. Yes, so I'm going to be busy this weekend, but having a good time. Okay, so let me just see here. We do have some people joining near and far. Hello, everyone. I'm going to be heading down to my workspace here in a second. I want to thank you guys for joining me here at Sue's Paper Creations, and continuing to tune in for my 25 days of lives. I usually go live 2 to 3 times a week anyway, but you guys are getting a lot of me in a short amount of time. So hopefully I am still inspiring you with some new ideas as we go along. Some that you may have forgot about, some that you've never tried, and hopefully you're also kind of diving into my questions that I post every day, because I'm also giving 25 giveaways. So you might want to grab one. Okay. So let me just head on down to my workspace, and am I upside down? No, it's the color wheels that's upside down. We're good. I thought I was upside down for a minute. So let's just recap here. Let's see, where's our monochromatic here? So we started off, just to show you where we went over the next couple last nights. If you have not already seen them, you can always catch the replays. We first hit the tones in between here, the Pretty Peacock, Shaded Spruce, Lost Lagoon, Coastal Cabana, and Pretty Peacock, and we made a monochromatic card using the Layers of Beauty stamp set and die, or stamp set and embossing, or sorry, the masks that add all the colors in. I also touched a little bit on the elements of text. I'm going to be using a different stamp from the elements of text tonight to add a little texture to what we're going to be doing. So you will see. So that was the first monochromatic card that we made. Next, which I haven't actually posted the pictures of yet, but I will, we headed to the gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Blackberry Bliss, Berry Burst, and Fresh Freesia. And we did a little retro. This was fun last night. Here it is here. We did a little retro on there using our stylish shaped circles. Isn't that fun? And we did it in both directions. There it is there. So that was using all those purple pink tones. Okay. So for today, we are going to do a embedded embossing technique, and we're going to use some warm orangey to kind of pinky red colors. It's going to be quite pretty, I think, and it's definitely one that you can use for fall, but you know, I think you could use it all year round because it's really pretty. In fact, I think you could even use it as like a wedding card if you wanted, because I think it's going to be quite beautiful when it's all embossed. So I do have a couple textures that I was debating on using on this card, and the two that I am choosing, well, I'm going to let you guys choose from, is we have got our plaid, which I do love, and then we've got our birch. Okay, so keep that in mind when you see what I end up doing for the card today, and then you can kind of chime in and let me know which one I should run our finished card front through. Okay, so keep in mind those are going to be the options because I like to get your input on things. All right, if you haven't already answered today's little poll, it is going to be coming up for tomorrow, and the poll was, I'm just gonna bring in my colors. We've got some Calypso Coral, we have got some Timid Tiger, this is gonna be so pretty. We have got some Flirty Flamingo, look at that, beautiful. We have got, let me see, 1, 2, 3. I have one more color in here, I think. Oh, I do. More on the reddish orange tone. We have got some Cajun Craze. Birch. I have the hardest time with that one, and I'd love to see you use it. Birch. Okay, Carla, we might be using birch. We'll see. We'll see what everybody thinks. I think the birch would look beautiful. And then I've got just a lighter tone here, just because it was kind of within the spectrum of when we had that little photo. It was these colors here. So Flirty Flamingo, we've got Petal Pink, we've got the Calypso Coral, and we've got the Cajun Craze. Now, what this color wheel doesn't include is the in colors, and right in between those two is our Timid Tiger, which is a corally orange. So I wanted to add that in there because I thought that would be quite pretty together. Okay. If you're wondering where this die comes from, this is from the Thankful Garden die set. And what brought this card about is, and it's got this one in here too, this big huge leaf, but I love this one. It might be still over on my workspace. I'm doing one of the cards in the fun fold. I'm having actually quite a good time with it because I have used the designer series paper, and you may have seen in the picture there was like almost like 20 different colors of pattern paper, like each one was a different color. And each one is getting like different tones of leaves with the cards. So I'm having fun using up my scraps, finding the perfect tone to go with that particular card. And as I was doing that, I thought, I have not done the oranges yet. So that's how it came to be for tonight. Now I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper, and let me just see what I've got here. This will work. And I'm going to get out a little bit of liquid glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, this is just a white base, and I'm going to end up like laying down our beautiful leaves, all of the colors on top of the white, and then we're going to run it through a gorgeous texture. So that's why I wanted you to really think about which texture you would like. And it's looking like the birch one is one that everyone would love to see and maybe haven't used it as much. So I can definitely do that, but I'm going to fill it in a little bit more with probably another little bit of leaf here and here and here. And we're going to glue them down. But before we do that, I want to add just another element onto these. Okay, I know I'm going to be adding some texture to them. We're going to be adding, by the sounds of it, we're going to be adding that birch texture to it. But I also wanted to add a little bit of a speckled look onto them to make them look more like a fall leaf almost, right? As we're going into, well, not quite, we don't want to rush summer, but fall is on, you know, the horizon, of course. So I wanted to have some fun by adding some color to these. Now I've got all my colors pulled. Let me just grab them. Let's see. I did grab all of them. There is those colors. I'll have a look and see. Right there, no. Oh, I see them. Okay, I've got them. Here they are. So I've got basically all 5 of these colors, and I'm going to do just a little bit of tone on tone stamping. I'm going to start with the lightest color, and I'm going to just stamp a little bit over top of the leaves. So again, this is from this set here, and I'm using this little tiny, I call it a grunge because it's adding kind of speckles to it. You can use it for some beautiful, actually all of these, if you want a more vintage looking card. And I'm just going to stamp, see, just a little bit of texture over top. Isn't that pretty? Yes, you caught me live. I am so glad. There we go. So that's that little tiny bit of speckle on there. Isn't that fun? It's just going to add a little bit more compared to, there is one without and there is one with. So that's another way that you can, if you're just going to use just dies on a card, different shapes, you can definitely step it up with a stamp like this and add just a tiny bit of texture. Okay, makes it look like it's got texture on it, but it's flat because it's just the ink that you're adding. You're layering up a little bit of ink. So let's see, I've got Timid Tiger next, and I'm gonna just, again, oh, look at how beautiful that is, little tone on tone. I'm gonna add a little bit there. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so it's also bringing more of those toned colors, right? Because it's adding a different shade onto our cards as well, which is nice. So we're going to go Flirty Flamingo next. And I am cleaning the stamp in between each one. Okay. I'm just rotating the stamp a little bit. Okay. There's that one. I know it adds a little bit, doesn't it? Okay, and then we're going to do the coral. Now, when you do this embedded technique that we're going to do with the embossing folder, and I'm sure lots of you may have tried this with different embossing folders, I find that you're better to use one that is kind of, I guess, a little bit more neutral to it if you are adding, depending on what you're adding. If you are adding, like, say, a bunch of different shaped circles onto a card base, then you can get a little bit more creative and you can use maybe like the Hawaiian hibiscus, or I'm trying to think what the other one was called that we had that had the beautiful flowers. I think it is still current. There's another one. Oh, I need my Cajun craze. But you can use one that has like different designs in it. But because our leaves have, you know, quite a shape to them already, and they're a little bit, even though they may not look busy when they're just sitting here, when you get them all on the actual white paper here, it will end up looking a little bit busier. So you want to stick with something that's kind of, you know, a little bit more muted or uniform type of pattern, something that isn't so busy. So the birch works well. I find that depending on the card, the plaid works well as to add a little bit of texture. It's a little bit of a deeper texture, but I think that it would work well as for it. One that looks beautiful with this technique is also that exposed brick. That's a really pretty one. But those are the type of textures that you want to kind of go with. Wood grain, I think, would be, look quite pretty too if you've got that one still hanging around. It's a good one. Okay, so there we have it. We have stamped our tone on tone onto all of our leaves. Isn't that pretty? All of our different tones of kind of the orangey, reddish tones. Okay, the darkest being that Cajun craze. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these onto our page. I want to make sure that I don't have the glue kind of just seeping out everywhere. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue onto my silicone mat. Now, this is probably one of the tools in my craft room that I don't, you know, utilize enough of. It's definitely for some ladies that craft, it is definitely their go-to whenever you're using any type of sticky glue. For me, I'm just going to use this dauber here. I find that I almost forget about it. So I need to maybe keep it more in line where my workspace always is here, and just keep it close so that I have it, because it's great because you can take your leaf, you can dab your glue on it like this, and you can get a nice thin film of glue, especially with the technique that we're doing. I'm trying to remember how I had this laid out. I'm just going to go for it. Let's just go for it. We're going to go this way. Especially because we're going to be pressing it through a folder. You don't want to have a lot of glue on the back, because when you go to press it through the folder, then it's going to seep out. You're going to end up with glue over your folder. The page is going to stick in there because it's being pressed and there's glue, and you could end up with a little bit of, no pun intended, but sticky situation in your embossing folder. So a light film is what you want to do. You could also use, do I want the light one? I want to get this orange one in the middle, I think, like that. Yeah, that's what I want to do. You could use adhesive sheets. That always works well too. But I find this kind of an easier way. You don't have to try and peel those pieces off. And it's fairly easy. right? Fairly easy if you just have a little dauber to go for it. Okay. Now, is there anyone that is watching tonight and you had voted for the orangey reds? That is the question. Liquid glue is not my friend. It's not. For some people, it isn't, Carol. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, some people, liquid glue is not their friend because they end up with more of it on their fingers than they do on their projects. So, but for me, see, I tend to find it easier to use than some sort of tape runner. So, is that Dana? Is that you with the sticky fingers? Yeah, you know, I think it's what you get used to using, right? Okay, I'm gonna put that one down there. I'm liking that so far. Now I'm gonna add just a few more to fill it in. Maybe I will bring in like a little bit of the upper colors there, and I'm gonna bring maybe a little bit of coral in the color in this corner, and then what could we put over here? I think we need a little bit more, maybe a little splash of the Cajun, the darker color up top, and then maybe just a corner of our Flirty Flamingo. I think that looks quite beautiful. So I'm going to just bring in, I wasn't sure which ones I wanted to use more of. See, look at that. It's light coat of glue. It's not sticking everywhere, but it is well coated. Okay. So I'm going to just stamp a little bit onto here. There we go. Now, as we're going into fall, Janet voted for, see, and yeah, me too. I wanted to see what these colors were going to look like together, and so far I am liking them. Let's see here. This was the Cajun, so I'm just going to add a little bit. I don't need it all over the place, but might as well stamp the whole thing. If I have little bits of leaves left over, those are perfect pieces that you can use those on your envelopes. So if you cut off a corner, you still have an edge, it's still kind of sticky, you can put it on your envelope or on the inside of your card as well. We have to decide actually what color card base we're going to go with. I have got my rainbow bucket of card bases is looking, it's actually looking pretty sad because I have been creating so many cards lately that it's definitely lacking some of the colors of the rainbow. I have to restock it. Okay. That will be another day. That'll be a task I'll do next week. Okay. All right, so we were going to go with a little bit of coral down here. Those leaves are both kind of going that way. I'm going to pull this one in like that. Love it. Let's add our glue. Okay. And liquid glue, little dab. Little dab will do you. That's all you need. Okay. All right, we're going to stick that there. Beautiful. I think I need a little bit of the Flirty Flamingo right there. Oh, I need a little more glue. So with the mat I've got here, best part is these silicone mats, they wash up so easy. You just have to rinse them off and the glue comes right off. Okay, and then we're going to put a little tiny bit there. Now, would anyone think of using just like one, I need a little bit on this tip of this leaf too, one die and repeating it like this to create a backdrop? Just got to see which way I want this to go. I'm going to go like that. Because if you haven't tried this before, have a look through your die sets. I'm sure that you've got something that would be perfect, right? to go ahead and do something like this. Okay, here we go. We're gonna just, that one, see, that one got stuck down a little bit. That's okay. All right, so here is our leaves on there. Aren't they pretty? And you can see all of that little dottedness on there is adding that second shade of all of those colors. I'm gonna just do a little trimming, just like that. Okay, going around. Oop, I got some leaves definitely stuck on my page. That's okay. I might put those on the top of the insert actually. We'll see as we finish here. Okay. All right. Look at how pretty that is. So I think that's beautiful just as it is. You're liking this already. Yay, I'm glad. The colors are looking, they do look quite beautiful together, right? And they're probably, you know, as it seemed to go, not colors that everyone usually gravitates to, but look at them when they're all together. They're just so pretty. So we are going to pop it into the birch, and we're going to see how this just steps it up a little bit, okay? So I'm going to let you guys talk amongst yourselves there for a second. Think of what else you could use, what shape die that you could use to do something like this with, okay? I'm going to leave that with you. I'm going to run this. Oh, I can see already just by looking. This is going to look so good. Okay. All right. So what other shapes would you use? Oh, I need my platform. Where is it? There we go. Okay. So rolling. It is another warm day here in Victoria, and today is the day that the neighbors are putting a new roof on their house, so it's a little warm in here. I've closed the door so that we don't have to listen to all the noise. There we go. Ferns would be beautiful, yes. Even a fern texture would be beautiful too. So imagine, before I open this up, doesn't that look just so pretty with the texture looking through? Imagine even just strips of coral, calypso coral, pretty in pink, Cajun craze, petal pink. What else have we got in here? Timid tiger. So even if you had, like, say 3/4 inch strips that were all stacked tight together, and then you ran it through the fern embossing folder, right? So your strips would be more simple, a simple shape, but the fern is a more busy, elegant embossing folder, right? So see how you kind of work it with the texture. So if you have like a busier shape like these leaves are, then a simple texture, look at that. A simple texture like the birch or the checker, and look how that presses those leaves right down into that. It's as simple as that. This embossing technique is just glue flat some shapes. I mean, it doesn't have to be the same shapes. You could do flowers and leaves if you wanted, or you could do just strips of colored cardstock and press it into the paper. So you don't really feel the fact that the leaves are glued on, because all you feel is the texture that goes over top of them all. And I do like that added element of that little bit of speckle on there, right? Fall flowers, yes. Even if you were to take some designer series paper and cut out some beautiful you know, flowers out of them, because we have a lot of different ones that would be pretty, and glue them on and then texture it. That would be beautiful too. It'd look almost like a, or you know, Mod Podge type of thing, like they would be pressed in, right? It is. It's one of my favorite techniques too. And I've done it with Easter bunnies when we had the bunny punch, and I did it with all different patterns or different colors of paper, and then just pressed like a polka dot or a plaid pattern, and it just looked adorable for Easter. So you can definitely play with this for any time of year. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little element on the front. I don't want it to be too much because we don't want to take away from this beautiful background that we have created, right? So let's see what we have got left in colors. One that is not chopped up here, even just this nice light pink. I'm going to add a little bit to it, and I kind of like that it's the softer color, because then it's not going to take away from all of those beautiful bold colors in the background. I'm going to add a little speckle to it, and we are going to jump into my extra bucket of die cuts in a second. But let's get some color on here. Love it. I just love that, you know? Just putting leaves like that all over projects. Beautiful. Okay. All right. So let's grab our bucket of shapes, and we're going to decide what it is we're going to use for a shape. Okay. I think I want to keep it white so that therefore our little leaf is going to be seen a little bit more, whether it's just something like this, something simple. I don't want to take up too much space, but that's a nice shape for that leaf. We're going to lift it up, of course, but that is quite a pretty shape. That I think would work. Let's see. Again, I've added to this bucket today because as I get busy cutting and I have extra room. Let's see this one. That's kind of pretty too. I have extra room on, I kind of like that one. That's very simple, right? Okay. So this is like choice number 1, choice number 2. Let's see what other shapes I have in here. But as I go ahead and I die cut all of these pieces, and I have extra space on my piece of paper that I'm cutting out of. I always cut extra. Ooh, I did have a flagged one. I wonder if that would be too big. It might be. Let's see. I think a square. Let's see if the square. Let's see. Let's see here. I mean, the square's kind of cute with the stitching. Number 2. Okay, so far, this is the one that we've at least got a vote on. It would make a beautiful fall birthday card, it would. I do like the stitching of the square though, and that it kind of goes off of the page. So I'm thinking I might go with the square. I wasn't planning on going with the square, but I think I like that one. So we're gonna go, although Sandy says too, you're still thinking this one, hey? Okay, let's have another look. Doesn't have the stitching, so that has the stitching detail. And then this one kind of has the unique shape though. The square. A wonky shape. Oh, the wonky circular shapes. That would be good too. The square, square, square. I like the square too. Square too. I think now everyone's seen the square. That you like the stitching of the square, right? If you're like me, that added just simple detail of the stitching. Yeah. Is there another color besides white? Square. I think I'm going to go with white so that it doesn't fight with the colors that are in the background. I want to keep it kind of as neutral as possible, but lift it up a little bit. And so it doesn't, if I did a darker color, then it would take away from the shapes of the leaves, I think. So I'm going to go with this one. Now I'm going to get out a few small little pop knots. Let's see here. Don't need the stitching. There's enough going on. Oh, okay. Is there another color than white? We saw that. Okay. Let's see. Let's see how it looks. We're going to see how it looks. Because I'm going to pop up the leaf on the square like that. Too much petal pink. Oh my goodness. I will break it up, don't you worry. Okay. We're gonna go like that. And you know what? You haven't seen what we're gonna frame it in yet. That's definitely gonna make a difference. Okay. Let's see here. Turn the square on an angle. You mean like a diamond, like that? There's a diamond. There's a square. I'm going square. Okay, we're gonna go like this because I do have a little greeting that I want to put on here. And I'm gonna go like that. And then I'm going to, I've got this little tiny piece of gray. Now I might switch it to, again, just white and keep everything nice and white and clean. And we'll do a little thanks. And I'm going to do the thanks in a darker color. Like I'm thinking maybe the Cajun Craze. Okay. I think maybe the Cajun Craze. Let's see. It does kind of look cool though, doesn't it? What do we think? Diamond or square? The diamond might fit in there nicer amongst those, right? Yeah, I think I will. Love the shape. Shape bucket also. Great, diamond is a good idea. Turn. Okay, you guys, you know, keep adding your thoughts. Diamond, square, diamond, square. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna keep it like that for a second. I'm gonna get some white, okay? You think about it. Let's see what I've got here. Okay, so we're gonna take a white scrap and I'm just gonna cut a little piece off of it. Diamond. Okay, diamond it is. Diamond it is. Great idea. Love it. Okay, so I'm going to just cut this nice and little, and we're going to do, like I said, the little tiny thanks I think is all that I want to put on here. And I think that either Cajun or Calypso Coral would be the perfect color for it, so it's not too light. Let's see. There is the Cajun. I do like that. It might be nice with the contrast, right? Everyone's loving the diamond. Yeah, I'm gonna do Cajun. I think it'll stand out more because it's gonna be a little word. Okay, I would put a Cajun Craze behind the white. Oh, just to frame it in. That is a thought. I think the next square up, the problem is it might be a little bit, it would be quite a bit bigger, and then it would take a fair amount of the background away. Let's see, I'm going to put this, like, hide it somewhere up in here. I like that. Or across. Let's do just a little, I might even cut it out so that it stands out a little bit more. Let's do a little bit of cutting. Let's do this. So then it's even tinier. And then you see a little bit more of the shape of all of our leaves we've got going on. It's going to look great once we get it framed in, though, too, with a beautiful color. So just that little tiny thanks. Look at that. That's perfect. We're going to put it right across there. And I do like the diamond. Now, I could add a little bit of neutral twine in behind here, or in behind the word. I might do it in behind our little thanks. So just do a little bow, and then I'll put it in behind the thanks. So we've got a little tiny bit of something neutral here. So, don't want too much, but I love a natural twine, especially with fall. Okay, ribbon behind the diamond. See, you guys are thinking about as well a little ribbon or something. I'm going to add a little thanks, and I'm going to put a little ribbon in behind it. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to add, I need just a tiny bit of dimension. It's got to be so skinny though. This is going to get tricky. Again, I need to order those adhesive strips, and that would keep everything in place. So I'm going to just add a little bit of dimension in behind my greeting, and that's going to keep my twine in place so it doesn't go crazy, and put my greeting on. Okay, there, that's perfect. Add the little bow there, put it on an angle, and we're going to put a little thanks right in here. I want the bulk of the bow to go onto the white. Oh, did I peel it? Oh my goodness, I didn't peel it. That helps. It helps if it sticks. You have to peel it for it to stick. So let's make sure our diamond gets on the right angle so that I can get my word on the right angle. And we'll pop it maybe. Okay, let me put my diamond on first. I need to see where it's going to be, and then I can add my greeting. So let's put this on. We're going to add some dimension onto here. Okay, bear with me. We're going to get through this. It's looking good so far. Loving all the suggestions. Love the diamond. Great idea. Okay, that's perfect. And then we can put like a little thanks just in here. There we go. Just over that one leaf on a little angle like that. Perfect. So there we've got our little thanks. What about inking the edge of the diamond? Could do that, but again, I don't want to take away from our background. I think that that lets our background still shine, which is good. And then we're going to add on a color of card base. Okay, so let's check out our options. I've got, okay, I'm just going to let them sit for a minute. Like, look at that. Okay, there is Calypso Coral. Okay, Calypso Coral. We're going to try them all. I like, it's kind of middle ground Calypso Coral, isn't it? And we did add the Calypso Coral on the corners, so it kind of blends in nicely. Cajun could be a contender. Let's see if I've got a Flirty Flamingo here. I don't have Flirty Flamingo, but I do have a Timid Tiger. Oh, that's a thought too. See, it has all the tones in there. You can't go wrong. And I don't have a Flirty Flamingo. That's okay. I think this is enough of a color tone. Okay, I want to stay within the oranges and kind of the orangey reds. Okay, so we're going to stick within there. Let me just see. Okay, there we go. Calypso Coral or Tiger. Okay, let me just pop it on the Cajun. The Cajun, it almost makes the Cajun look more brown to me. So I think you're right there, Sandy. I think that either the Tiger, which does look beautiful, or the Calypso Coral. And I'm kind of going towards the Calypso Coral. What do you think? Yeah? Calypso. Tiger. Okay, Teresa says Tiger. Jolene says Calypso. I think, I think that both are good. Okay, we're going with Calypso Coral. Barbara says Calypso Coral. The first one I tried, that was the Coral. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're going to go with the Coral. Seems to be yes to the Coral. Okay, that seems to be the vote. So this is, again, I'm going to pop this out. This is a different look to, let's use up all these, to a monochromatic take on a card, right? So we have got some very different monochromatic cards that we have made over the last couple days. I still have a post up from yesterday that says, grab some tones of your favorite color and create a tone card, a card that has all the same tones, different colors, but the same tones, and then post it in the comments. Okay. Well, thank you, Carla. There we go. Now, for bling, what do we do? Okay, how would it look on black? That would take it to a different level, wouldn't it? I think if we had more red, if we had more of kind of just red, like we could go Poppy Parade, Real Red, Cherry Cobbler. Oh my goodness, that would, I think, look amazing on black, right? Where if it was red and black and white, that's a whole other card. But I think that would look beautiful. But I'm going to keep it all within the same tone, so we have a monochromatic card, and we're going to add a little something. So we want to keep it fairly neutral. I think those are too pink. I'm going to see if I have anything corally left in here in my goodies. Although it might be nice to just have some white pearls on here too. There's that option. There is just some white pearls we could add and add them into the white space. That might be a nice touch to this card, because I don't think I have anything else left in here that is more on the orangey red tones. Let's see. That is neutral. Nope. These ones, I mean, I have the petal pink, but I think I want to go with something more neutral. I think the white would work. The pearls would work because it would just keep it neutral with a little shine. So let's try and tuck some of these in here. Let's go white, or medium one there, maybe a tiny one right beside it there, like that. We're gonna do one maybe over here on the actual card. I don't like to put it right on the point though, because then it means it's just too, I don't like it there. I'm gonna put it down here more, and then I can add one over here as well, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna put one down in here like that. 5, just to add a little shine. Rhinestones colored with coral would work too. I could even take coral marker, like a alcohol marker, Calypso Coral, and I could go over the pearls and change them whatever color I wanted and make them the same color tones. But that gives a little bit of shine, and you see the pearls just a tiny bit in there. but I love that texture. You guys did a great job. I think that the birch was the perfect match with these leaves. And I think I love these colors together. Where did you say the leaf was from? It is from the Thankful Garden die set. So this is the set that has the beautiful hydrangea and almost like a big pansy to it. And then it cuts up the hydrangea pieces. It has this one, and then it actually has this die cut in it as well. It's just over on my cutting table right now. But there we go. There we have it. Y5 bling. I always have to do like 3 or 5. I have to do uneven numbers. It's almost like same with floral arranging, right? Okay, there we go. You have one. Anything that looks, yeah, you could do any of the ones from Forever Ferns if you had those. There's quite a few in the past that have some beautiful greenery in them. That would work. Yeah. All right, so there you have. We are what, day 12? That's pretty good. And we have got another monochromatic card. So such different looks, all of the different monochromatic cards. I will do a post with all of the different color tones, and then, you know, you never know. I'm just seeing where the other ones went. I tucked them away, but you'll never know which. You may change your mind now that you've seen all of the cards made with the colors. So this is the orange, red. We've got the green, blue we did, and we've done the purples, right? The retro one. Now, having said that, if you were to switch up the themes, the cards would look totally different. If you were to swap them out and did these in purples, that would work. These in greens and blues, this same card with the greens and blues would look beautiful too, right? It would look more spring than fall. All right. You guys have a wonderful evening. Let me know what you want to see tomorrow. Go back and check out the post I did earlier. Whether you want to see 3x3 cards, we're going smaller tomorrow. So 3x3 cards, tags, or our smaller, well, I guess they're about 3.5 by 5 note cards. So you can definitely put a vote in there. I will check midway tomorrow morning, and then I will start planning. Okay, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, take care everyone. Thanks again for joining me. Bye for now.